Hey peeps. All right. Do I see audio? I see audio. I think we're working. Hey everybody, welcome. Thanks for hanging out. Looks like I've only seen chats from Twitch people, but the thing says that it's live on both Twitch and YouTube. So I'm gonna assume that it's working. And the other thing I always do is go check my Twitter to make sure it correctly sent out the tweet. Did it send it out? Time to live code. Yep, there we go. Cool. So what we are working on today, that's cool, Dane. I didn't realize that. So what we're working on today is called ATL Family Meal. It's a project that just spun up. It's a nonprofit, and the goal here is to get folks live on YouTube. Love it. Thanks, everybody. Hey, friends. Hey, David. Hey, Mohammed. Hey, Dennis. So what's going on here is that they are getting hospitality workers, like the owners of hospitality groups and a lot of other people, to make meals and then deliver them using volunteers to hospitality workers and restaurant workers and stuff who currently don't have work because everything's shut down. This is just for the city of Atlanta right now. So what I have been building is they're taking information they're taking information from volunteers who want to drive, and then from also recipients who need to receive food on Google Sheets. And then basically the system works where those Google Sheets get downloaded as CSVs, which get uploaded to my system. My system standardizes their addresses using Geocodio, which is a wonderful service provided by some folks in the Laravel community. So we upload the addresses in here, and we get down a standardized address from there. And then, and I'll actually show you what the interface looks like. Hold on. I have been working on my laptop at home up until right now. So let me get this set up because I just came in just for the stream. So composer install. And then once a week, we import all the people who volunteered to drive and all the people who said they need food, and then we push it up to a system, an external system that's responsible for mapping drivers and restaurants together with people who need deliveries. So, hey Typo Light, hey Muzaffar, welcome everybody. So, looks like this is, oh goodness, I don't have my auth.json. All right, I'm gonna have to censor real quick so y'all don't see my secret. Oh, I have not even been showing y'all the screen this whole dang time. I'm sorry. Well, I don't have to censor because I forgot to switch the code because I'm an idiot. I did tell you, Mirsa, but I'll tell you again in just a second. Hey, Mark. Hey, Ahmad. Jeez. Okay, so switch to the code now and turn off the censor now and tell everybody real quick. So what we're working on is ATL Family Meal, which is a nonprofit that is helping hospitality groups and restaurant groups and stuff facilitate getting free and discounted food or donated money to buy food, get their chefs together, make meals, and then use volunteer drivers to deliver those meals out to restaurant and hospitality workers who currently don't have work, and therefore some of them need food. Hey, Marius. So my system is, I was just going to show y'all, although I think I just realized I don't have a functional user in here right now. Oh, I do. Okay. Oh, I thought I did this. Hold on, let's do that. That's migrate fresh seed in case anybody's not familiar with it. And then we're going to go to Tinker, and then we're going to create me a new user. And hey, Mossab. So we have now a whole bunch of seeded users, drivers and recipients. So if I have imported all of the drivers who said I'm willing to drive that came from Google Spreadsheets, I import them as a CSV here. Thanks for following Pepper's Magic. Oh yeah, that alias is the best. It's at tin. I think I did a tweet about it actually. I call it TinMe, and somewhere around here. Here you go. So it basically just creates a new user in Tinker every time I want. I love it. So, okay, so back to focus. So you import your drivers here. No Twitter dark mode. I don't actually use the Twitter user interface almost at all. I use, what's it called? I use Tweetbot. Okay, so you import your CSV here, you hit upload, and then they show up in your drivers list. Same for the recipients. You import the CSV that came out of Google Spreadsheets, you upload it, it goes in here. At this point, they're just sitting in here, but they're not actually MFS. MSS is, migrate fresh and seed. That's awesome. So when I hit push recipients to hello tracks, it queues up a whole bunch of jobs to push the recipients or the drivers up to the HelloTracks, which is the system that is facilitating connecting drivers and recipients together. So that at some point we're imagining having hundreds of thousands of recipients in the system. Obviously, I'd need pagination then. So what we're working on today is trying to get it so that if I'm hitting this queue job right here. First of all, I want an email to be sent out and certain actions to be taken once all the things have been pushed up. And then second of all, I would love to be able to actually show somebody like all the things that are queued and see them as they're going, because this is going to be like a once a week thing that's going to be a really big deal. It's really important for them. So I really want them to kind of know what's going on. So drivers is going to be a little bit easier because you have to push drivers one at a time. So we could actually track whether they're pushed on the driver or on a related record and then actually show it in the user interface here, which would be really cool. Recipients, that's less the case, unfortunately, because recipients are being pushed up 100 at a time. So we don't have quite that same level of ability. But knowing when the recipients are pushed up is much more important because there's going to be way more of them. So I'm not going to worry about being able to show in here the number of recipients that are actually coming in. So for right now, I'm going to build something really dumb, which is just going to be basically an uploading recipients and an uploading drivers page, just really rudimentary stuff. And then the most important thing for me, honestly, is just going to be able to say, let's know when all those uploads are done so we can then send an email. So let's get coding. So where are we going to start? So let's look at the thing that does import recipients. No, it's going to be push recipients, push all recipients to HelloTracks. It's an artisan command. Hey, Brian. And what it does is it just basically says for our recipients 100 at a time, push them up to HelloTracks. And this is dispatching a queue job. So we go to this queue job, and what this queue job is doing is basically, so we have to create new recipients and update old recipients. And there's this thing with places that y'all don't need to think about right now. But basically there ends up being, well, hold on. What about where's the jobs? The job's not running right now. Oh, right here. Okay. I was kind of nervous there. So basically, domain context that y'all don't need to think about right now. When I'm pushing a recipient up, it's actually doing two things. It's both creating a place for them and creating a job for them. Don't worry about that, but that's how it's working. So this right here is our queued job, and we're going to have a whole bunch of these. So we need to imagine that there's 6,000 of this job running, and we need to track them. So I've talked to a couple of different folks about the best way they think about serving this. A few people have said what they did is they're actually going to be inspecting the particular queue that this one's being pushed up on, and once it's empty, then they're sending the email. It's simpler, but I feel like it's very fragile to inspect a queue to see if that queue is empty. So what we're instead going to do is we're actually going to create a database table who has the sole responsibility of tracking whether this has been pushed up. I've never done this before, so this is going to be a really fun live learning, figuring out how this works as we go. So what I'm imagining is that there's some kind of database table that's called basically queued job something. I don't even know. We'll have to come up with a great name for it. And every single time when we're pushing these recipient groups jobs up, which is push all, we're also going to create entry in our queued jobs tracking table. And then over here, when it's done, we're then going to delete entry in the queued, or basically update entry in the queued jobs tracking table. So let's build a really dumb version of it and then see what kind of ideas we come up with for refactors. First thing is let's make a table. So let's figure out what this table would be named. Make migration, create queue job tracking table. Oh, queue.job. Hey, Vince. Queue job. There's no database table named like queue jobs or anything like that, right? I don't think so, even if you're using the database queue. Doesn't the failed jobs table do this? No. Failed jobs is just for make create. Thanks, Marissa. Make migration. Create. Let's just name it queue jobs for now and see if that ends up being a terrible idea. So what I'm thinking here is each of these is going to have a batch ID. Actually, no, because yeah, it's gonna have a batch ID, which is going to be basically queue jobs go to the jobs tail. Thank you. So this is going to be something like every time the job runs, they're all going to be one for all that were pushed at the same time. And then they're going to have, I assume that we're going to be tracking different, well, we are going to, well, no, yeah. Yep. So it's going to be complete. I don't know if it should be is complete or is completed. I'm going to do is complete for now. So they're going to say not complete until we modify them. And then I think I also want to have a type, which is going to be basically so that we can differentiate recipient jobs versus whatever. And that's actually just going to end up being the class name of the job. So I might actually just call it class. That's what I'm thinking right now. So let's take a look at this right now. I guess I should have created the migration and everything as well. So make model queue job. That's making me a little bit nervous to have something that's going to be a little bit confusing to new people. So I'm definitely thinking about changing that. But let's just kind of go for it and see where it takes us. Oops, fillable. No, guarded. Jeez, my brain is everywhere today. Just so y'all know, this I'm definitely going to be relying on y'all to keep me sane today. All right, so let's try this. So right in here, we're going to say queue job create. Ooh, that makes me nervous. All right, so we need to figure out the next. Okay, so I'm going to put this in the queue job. Next available import number, I think is what I'm going to call it. Would morphing? Yeah, it might be. It depends on how but I don't actually know if we need to be able to build relationships for it yet. So, yeah, wow, my brain is really not where I want it to be. This is crazy. Batch is what I called them. Next available batch number. And what we want to do is basically say, okay, so we want to find the latest batch number. And again, this is, I haven't thought this through and my brain's not 100% this morning. So I think I'm going to be doing some bad coding, especially if you're watching this on YouTube later. We're like week 2 of COVID stuff and I'm not 100% here. Latest batch number equals, I've also been working up until 2 o'clock every morning on this project, trying to get it ready for them. So latest batch number equals self colon, okay. So batches are not differentiated by anything other than themselves. So it's going to be the latest. Can you do latest? Or like last? And then batch. Could that be it? I feel like that's way too easy, right? Oh, what's wrong there? Oh. We haven't actually done this yet, so. Last is a function. Does it give you one, or it'd be cool if you could just do it like this and that's it. Let's go work on our test. Perfect. Thanks, Marissa. All right, so what we're going to do here really quickly is get a test to make sure this is working the way I want it to. So it can get next batch number. What are you drinking? This is a Fit Aid, which is caffeine, a little bit of caffeine and a whole bunch of vitamins. Latest order by created at. Newest I'm doing after. Yeah. So what I'm actually thinking about doing to address what Sarfas was saying is instead of doing the last one, so let's try this. Order by batch descending first batch. Let's try that. That might be better. Okay. What I want to do here was create some. We don't have a factory for these yet. God, let's make a factory. This is why I should have just made it all. Make factory Q job factory. I don't know if you can actually do that. Can you pass model into factory? You sure can. So what do we have? We have is complete. And then batch class and is complete. That's going to be interesting to figure out what class we're going to put on it. And then batch, it's going to be number between 1 and 10, I guess. So I'm going to try this right now. There's probably only 2 jobs we're going to be tracking right now. So this is going to be push recipient group to HelloTracks or push driver to HelloTracks. Those are our 2 things that we're likely to have. So that's our QJob faker factory right now. So let's go back to our QJob test. So what you want to do is make a couple with different, so let's factory QJob class create batch 1. Let's just create 3 of them like that. And then we'll do batch 2 with 5 of them. And then just for kicks and giggles, let's actually make batch 3 there, which doesn't make sense, just to see if our sort's working anyway. So we're going to make them out of order in terms of their batch numbers. And then this assert equals. So batch can't be auto-incrementing because the batch isn't going to go up 1 by 1 at a job. There's going to be a whole bunch of jobs in one batch and then a whole bunch of jobs in another batch. As you can see, we've got 3 jobs in batch 1, 5 jobs in batch 3, 3 jobs in batch 2. You stream the same schedule? Yeah, 11 a.m. Eastern every single week. I wrote, what code did I write first, Mohammed? Yeah, 11 a.m. Eastern every week. And then I've been doing 2:45 Eastern every Monday afternoon. But we've stopped that for a little bit, but I'll probably pick those up again soon. Assert equals, so what batch do I want? I want batch 4. And this would be Q job, what is it? Next available batch number. I can never remember which things it does and does not proxy through to the static call on models. So let's see if this actually works. Thanks for subscribing, Elbeer. Yeah, no problem at all, Marissa. I totally understand why it was confusing. All right, let's try that. Okay, yep, I was worried about that. So public function next available batch number. I could just make it static. Let's just make it static for now instead of worrying about newing one up, and then maybe I'll change my mind in that later. All right, so it's not working. Write the code before the test. Oh, 100% Mohammed. That, yeah, I'm not full TDD most of the time. All right, so why are we not getting this? So let's see what we're getting. Self order by. Oh, I'm not returning it. That would be a good reason. All right, so this returns an integer. Although I don't know if it's casting the integers, so that actually might fail. Oops, int. Failed, asserting that 3 matches expected 4. Huh. Oh, +1. Oh, I got to figure out how to block people on Twitch now. Oh, that's a bummer. How do you block people on Twitch? Does anybody know how to do that easily? Right click on it. The problem is I'm not in the chat, so I can't. Oh, look, there's a block in my so I use Restream for the chat. I don't use the Twitch chat, but the Restream chat has a block button. So good to go. Sweet. Thanks, everybody. Okay, so let's go back to our code. So hopefully this works. Yeah, let's try that. All right, it works. Cool. All right, so we've got this thing giving us our next one. So now let's queue job create, and then we're going to create it with the batch ID of so batch ID equals queue job. What was it called? I already forget. Next available batch number. Didn't get blocked in the actual Twitch chat. Awesome. So I will have to go open up an instance of the actual Twitch chat so that if somebody does that, I can go back to it. Because it's weird. If I go to the Twitch website right now, I can't see the chat playback. I can only see the chats that happened while I had it open. So I'm not able to block somebody because I can't see their chat. Wait, users in chat. Okay, there we go. Maybe I can do it from here. Sorry, y'all. Give me just a second. I need to get a handle on this. I knew this happened like the first time I ever streamed. I do have a friend in chat, but a mod, but he's not modded right now. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so not Twitch capable. Yeah, I had Jake Bathman is modded, but he's not available to be around right now because of family situations. So, and I actually can't see how to mod somebody right now. So I'm just. Sorry, y'all. I don't have to do this. I don't know if I can type commands directly in right now, but let me just try it. This is no fun. Sorry, everybody. Yeah, the problem is I can't. Oh, left click on name. No, it's not working either. I see them, but I don't see. Oh, mod user. There we go. Done. Sorry, everybody. All right, Sarfus, you're modded now. Thank you. All right, we're back. Thank you, everybody, so much for being patient with that. All right. I feel like there's going to be a cleverer way for us to do this right here, but I'm not sure what it is. So this is what we're going to do right now. All right. Thanks, bud. All right. So what else do we need on this thing? We need class, push recipients, group to hello tracks. You know what I kind of want to do? I want to create a queue job data equals batch. It's going to be the same for all of them. And I feel like there's going to be an interesting refactor that comes here. Best way to handle queue to don't overcomplicate is DB driver. Yeah, unfortunately, the DB driver is not super production friendly. So, yeah, no kidding. Is that a band hammer? I love that. All right, so batch ID, class, push recipients, group to hello tracks, and then is complete. It's going to be false on all of them. So batch and class, that's all we need for all of these. Oh, no, because they need to be able to point to the queued job record, though. How do you do that? I think we're going to have to dispatch an ID in here. Woof. That's what we do need to do that. So we need to do, oh, this is nasty. Queue job ID equals, oof. Oh, there's got to be a better way to do this. Queue job data. Yeah, I've heard that, Mohammed, but I'm using Laravel 5.7 on this one. It's on Heroku, so I don't have a lot of power there. Why don't you hook in the creating event of the queue job to set the batch ID? Well, the problem is we'd need to know what batch you're on at any given moment. And the only thing that really knows what batch we're on is the fact that it's being run by this thing right here. Does that make sense? So queue job. So then the thing is here, we also have to be able to dispatch the, we need the queue job in here too. Because it'll have to be able to know what its queue job ID is. creating a job to create a job would not really help, though. What's best recommended for a Redis driver and scheduler? Well, you don't need the scheduler. You just do a queue worker. And the benefit of using Redis and stuff like that is that you can have a whole bunch of workers working on it at the same time. Mohammed says the Davis driver is production ready in Laravel 7 and MySQL 8, and I actually did read him say that, and I trust Mohammed. However, like I said, I can't do MySQL 8 right now, and I think this one's on Laravel. It is on Laravel 7, but it's on MySQL 5.7, so we can't do that right now. All right, so once this is done running, what we need to do is say this queue job update By the way, if anybody doesn't know, I'm trying to return type hinting for the first time. You can use the DB driver for queues. It didn't used to be production ready. It was a bad idea to use it in production. Mohammed did a whole bunch of work on it. It is now production ready for Laravel 7 and MySQL 8. I used to not do return type hints or much type hints because PHP's type system is really crappy, so I don't like them. I'm trying it. So far, I've been very annoyed because of the lack of union types. So I still don't like it very much, but I know union types are coming, ? So I'm going to try it. So, all right, so what I'm going to do is this update and then set is complete to true. Okay, so we've marked our queue job as complete once it's done. And then I think I'm also going to do a... look at this, Mohammed. I'm going to write a test first this time. What's the error here? Oh, TLint. Yeah, okay. No problem at all. So I'm going to say it can tell if a batch is complete. So let's make these. And then let's say queue job where batch is 2, update setting complete is complete to true. And then this assert equals queue job. No, wait, assert true. Batch is complete. 1. Nope. Assert false. Complete 1. Of course, that's going to fail, because I actually wrote the test first this time. Cool. Now let's go write the method. All these static functions, there's a very good chance that I'll rewrite them as non-static functions later and then do a new, but just for the sake of speed, I'm going to do them this way. And I might keep them this way, I'm not sure. Duplicated 3. Where did I duplicate 3? I'm creating batch 1 and batch 2. I update all the ones for batch 2. I think that's right. All right. So what I'm going to say is return. All right. So self where batch is ID, where is complete is true or false. Count is equal to 0. Ours and test instead of peach. Oh, I forgot I was on the new version of Laravel yet. This is my first project on new versions of Laravel to be able to use that. Thanks, Nuno. All right, so we're going to use artisan test. Filter equals it can tell, and see how that treats us. Look at that. Beautiful, Nuno. Thank you. Why do you put equal when you filter the PHP unit test? You can do it either way. You can do either -- filter space or -- filter equal. It's just something I've done for a long time. So no worries, dude. All right, so batch is complete is now functional. So we now have to figure out. So this is where the schedule is going to come into play. We need something to be happening that is checking on a regular basis when this batch is complete. Actually, you know what? We can actually just have every job check it, although that might kill the database. But let's have every job check it right now. I think. So what we would basically say is, after this, we would then say, if queue job batch is complete, and then this would be queue job ID, then do thing. Thanks, this queue job. All right, so let's, I'm not a big event guy. Queue job batch, not ID. Yep, you're right. I'm not a big event guy, but this kind of makes a lot of sense for events right here. And I'm trying to think if I can do this without an event. 100 messages a day with Restream chat. Congratulations, yay. I don't like events because they abstract away what's happening. But this doesn't seem like something I want to do a job for because I don't actually know everything. I mean, I know I want to send a notification. Maybe that's all I want to do is send a notification. Maybe I'll start there, and then if it needs to move to event, we'll make an event. So let's make a notification. I never remember the syntax for making notifications. So the first one's going to be queue job batch finished. And for right now, it'll just be a mail to... Oh, so this is where something sucks because Tammy, who works at Titan, has actually built a few other messages that mail to the administrators. So I should not build this right here until I have her code accessible. So I'm actually going to delete that and just put a note there that says, once Tammy's code is merged, build a new notification here. And for right now, what I'm going to do is just going to say queue job batch So one thing I was thinking about is testing this would be nice, and the best way to test this would be to throw an event. Oh, but I just don't like events, y'all. But it'd be really cool if we had the queue job test saying, well, let's just do it. I hate events. It emits an event after a batch is completed. And so what we would do is actually dispatch all those jobs and then assert that an event was sent out. All right, so we need to do the assertion for event dispatch, and I never do that. Yeah, I know. I just hate events because I feel like they make things event assert dispatched. bus? Okay, here we go. This is what I want. All right, so event, it's probably the event facade support. Assert dispatched, and we haven't made one yet, so let's go make one, and then we can actually differentiate. We can use this closure to make sure that it dispatched with the right batch number. So we would just assert that the batch number was 2. Yep. All right, so let's make an event. Queue job batch finished. All right, so we want it to have a queue job. And then okay. So we're not worrying about broadcasting right now. Was there something like a new event system where I feel like there's a new event system where you could make them more simple in terms of registering the listeners, where it didn't have to be as complicated as it used to be. Does anybody remember that? I think, that was this right here. It was closure-based event listeners. I'm going to do this right now and see if this makes me happier. I don't know if it will, but let's just try it. So the event name is going to be queue job batch finished. And what does it get past? The properties? I don't know why it has foo bar. I feel like it would just be past the event, right? Am I wrong here? I feel like that's not going to work the way I want it to, but let's just try it out. Okay, so when we dispatch that event in our job, we need to queue job batch finished, dispatch, and then this queue job. And then we have a test around it, right? All right. Dispatch does not exist. Did you delete the comment about the email? I did, yeah. Okay, so what's going on here? Method assert dispatch does not exist. That means I have the wrong event class imported here. That's fine. We'll deal with that in a minute. Test not perform any assertions. That's fine, but we didn't die and dump in there. Why did we not die and dump in there? Does that mean this didn't actually get called here? Okay, so that's not actually happening. Why is it not happening? Oh, because I'm not dispatching them. Oh, it's so funny. I'm not actually dispatching them. So queue job where batch 2 each is it handle, I think, is the method. That's why. Sorry, now I'm looking at the notes. Magic here, event fake, event fake. Thank you for screaming. Thank you for following. Oh, thanks for following Adrian Hall and Malkus. First coder I've seen writing PHP. Awesome. Welcome, man. Yeah, Q fake. But that's not the only part of it, but it's certainly part of it. And that's probably why the assert dispatch wasn't on there. Although, do I have to Q fake when I'm doing this event? Hold on, let's do this one step at a time. I first want to just make sure these are getting dispatched. Okay, so what is the queue job? Oh gosh, I'm an idiot. Sorry, y'all. We need to build out more here because while it has these queue jobs, I'm not actually queuing the jobs. Oh goodness, y'all, my brain is off right now. Let's just step back a second. The code that we're testing right now happens in not in QJob. It happens in push recipients group to hello tracks. That it doesn't actually necessarily have anything to do with the QJob. So this test probably belongs elsewhere, which is why this is confusing me. What we need to do is dispatch multiples of these, and then, I don't know if you can put things temporarily in the queue in a test. I guess you can. So we just need to okay. For each of these, I need to get their IDs. So I think I got this now. Let's go build it the way the actual code's going to consume it. QJob1 equals factory QJob create batch. Thanks for following, Truthiness. Batch is 1. QJob2, same thing. Now, just like in our thing here, we don't just create the QJob, we also dispatch a thing. So then we have to dispatch QJob1 and QJob2. Job 1, job 2. Thanks for following, Miguel Wicht. All right, so now we need to import this. So we need recipients for each of them. Goodness. Recipients 1 equals factory recipient class 3 create recipients 2. Okay, so now we can be dispatching the jobs, and, well, we're dispatching them, but they haven't run yet because I don't, well, oof. No, I guess that'll work. So once we get here, now we can hopefully believe that they've run. And so we've got to dump and die in somewhere in the handler here. So we should see this happen now, I think. Unless we haven't imported our feature recipient class. If you dispatch now, it'll skip the queue and dispatch immediately. Yeah, but we're in a test, so that the queue is... Oop! Yeah. This job... Oh my gosh, this is getting more and more complicated. This right here does not belong in QJob test. This belongs in... What's the name of the job we're testing right now? Push recipients to hello tracks. So there's a series... There's tests there, and in those tests, we mock the APIs that it's calling. So that would be called upload recipients test. So let's go here and look at our code here that mocks the API. Wait, is it not mocking the client? It's possible that nothing is actually testing this process right now. Let's just find this within the tests directory. QJob test, upload recipients test, which are the two we're working on. Okay, so nothing actually does this. So we don't have any mocks right now for the HelloTracks API. Yeah, import recipients was mocked, but that is not the same thing. Goodness. Okay. So I'm just going to click through here, make sure import recipients test is all about the CSV importer, not about our upload to HelloTracks. Yeah, this is going to be the first time we're actually doing tests that would trigger hitting HelloTracks. So we need to. That's wild. I thought for sure that there was at least one instance. How do you do find within a directory in VS Code? I know how to do it in Sublime Text. Of course, the word client is like 10,000 different places. I want to see if the client, the HelloTracks client, is anywhere in tests. It's really looking like it's not, y'all. So yeah, we're gonna have to do it. Okay, so the good thing is I at least have I have a mock that I can copy from really easily for the oh, you know what? That's not even possible. Okay. So what we need to do, dispatch the event in a separate job that'd be easier to test. Let's just try this real quick. Mock hello tracks. So hello tracks that's getting called in this thing right here is the client. Where's that client getting pulled in? This client. Oh, because the clients are passed in a handle. So the client is the hello tracks client. So we want to mock the hello tracks client here. So we do have marker in here. So client equals m mock client class. And then app find instance client class client. I don't know if we have to do anything past that. Oh, we do have to import all those things. All right. Sorry, y'all know we're a little bit off the rails right now, but once I get this test functioning, we can get back to writing code. Create place, but no expectations were specified. Okay. Is that what it is? Should ignore missing? Oh, man. All right. ZTTP response JSON, no expectations were specified. But it should be... Does should ignore missing pass them through? I thought that just ignored everything. I don't think that this push recipients group, I don't think it actually expects any responses from any of the client calls it's doing. Oh, it does. That's why. That's the problem right here. Yeah, we might have to do that, Mohammed. We dispatch the event in a separate job and then test that job. Okay, let's do that. No, it's the right comment, but the comment is returning something and then they're calling JSON on the thing that's returned, but it's just a mocked thing. So unless I mock ZTTP response as well, could I do that? If this doesn't work, I'm going to go back to Mohammed's idea. I feel like this is super hacky and probably not the right decision. Hey, Aris. So let's just try this. Yep, I'm just going to get out of here. We're going to go back to exactly what we were doing a minute ago, which is listening to Mohammed. And in our push all recipients group, instead of doing a notification here, oh, but dude, doing a job that dispatches an event is kind of crazy, right? Wasn't ZTP in Laravel? Yeah, it is. I just haven't taken the time to learn it, honestly. This is my first Laravel 7 project, and I'm kind of just trying to get stuff done, you know. So I am curious, why did that not work? We're mocking the ZTTP response. We're saying should ignore missing, and then when asked for a ZT, oh, because it's not being asked for by the app. It's actually, yep, that's it. What was the error we were seeing? Dispatch a monitoring job will dispatch. Oh yeah, so I thought about that, like a monitoring job that checks back every minute or something like that. and then dispatches the event. I kind of was a little bit nervous about that, but because it's just going to be polling forever. But maybe it's a better idea anyway in the first place. It just sleeps if it hasn't been. Okay, let's do that. All right. Thank you for following the insanity of Matt's brain right now, everybody. So what we're going to do here is when we come in here, so we'll have to figure out that test. But first, let's go to our push all recipients. So in here, this is when we're going to dispatch another job that monitors. And then so we're going to basically say make job check for completed queue job batch, I guess. So it's going to take a queue job. Oops. Anybody know off the top of your head what the name of the package is that you can put in VS Code that makes constructor initialization faster? I had it in Sublime Text and I just haven't got it set up here yet. Yeah, exactly. So so basically if queue job batch is complete, this queue job batch. So actually it's not going to take a queue job. It's just going to take an ID. Yeah, I'm actually switching to PHP Storm soon. I had to do a whole ton of refactoring on this project. And I just realized I want to switch back to PHP Storm. But I'm not going to switch live on a stream because then it'll slow me down even more than my brain's already slowing me down. Ha ha ha, yeah, Unite ID. So this batch ID. Also, I'm in this thing where multi-select doesn't work in my VS Code right now, which is like one of my most used tools. So it's driving me absolutely bonkers. Okay, so if it's complete, then queue job. So you know what? Because of that, thanks. Whatever, I'll just fire this event anyway. Queue job batch finished. Dispatch ID. And then we have to change queue job batch finish because it's currently expecting a queue job, and now we're going to change it as well to look for a batch ID, which I guess I could have done here as well. So, I just remembered. No, I think I actually fixed multi-select on this computer. Yep, I fixed multi-select on this computer, but not my home computer that I've been working on for the last while. So, fire the events. Yep. So. All right, so this right here, upload recipients test. Okay, so what we're going to do is create this. So right here, after we create the queue jobs, let's yeah, that was actually my concern, Simon. Can you release it without running out of attempts? But I do think you can define the number of attempts that are acceptable on a given job. So let's try that. Yep, I think you can specify it on each job. And I think this overrides this right here. Yep. So I can just say public tries equals, 10 million or whatever. There's an alternative to defining how many times the job may be attempted before it fails. You can define time at which the job should time out. Oh, that's interesting. I kind of like that. You add hours? Oh, welcome, John. What's the delay in? Seconds? Minutes? Dollar signs? Come on. Delay of what? Delay is got to be minutes. Seconds. It is seconds. Okay, so this releases it for a minute and checks again after a minute. Okay. So what we want to do here is... Oof, I'm losing it here, guys. It's 4 minutes left and my brain has melted. We want to check here that it doesn't get... Ah, great. Welcome, Frozen Pen. So I kind of want to here say, check that the job running doesn't dispatch the event. And then check that the job running does dispatch the event, which I don't know if you can do. I think basic program is the only one that you got. You're at 5.8 docs. Of course, I'm always at 5.8. The good thing is things have changed very, very little between 5.8 and 7. So, yeah. So I don't actually know how to test this, which sucks. Because I want to dispatch that event. So check. Yeah, honestly, I'm very tempted to do that right now. Check for complete job queue batch, dispatch, and we want to check it on job 1. See, we still have the same problem though. Oh man. What if I just run handle on it? I'm wondering if there's something we can do in this closure. Where we check that it's like... Yeah, thanks. I don't know how to like run an assertion like this against one thing, but not against the other. You know what we could do? Is that a pick of Taylor? No, it's Mr. Rogers. You're dispatching the monitoring job. You don't need to dispatch the original job for that. I'm dispatching the original job in order to change the status of them. But you're right. I could just, I mean, it doesn't fix our problem, but you're right. We could just do queue job 1 and we could actually just do what we were doing before, right? Which was queue job where batch 1 update is complete true. But it's the same final result, which is that I still need to be able to assert that this thing didn't dispatch an event here and did here. So here's what we're going to do. This is exactly what we're going to do. We're going to make 2 tests. Why not? One that asserts that it wasn't dispatched earlier and one that asserts that it was dispatched later. Duh, Matt. See, you just gotta step back sometimes. I bet you there's even like an assert not dispatched. So is this maybe, is it event fake? Is that what we gotta do here? What is it actually? You guys were talking about queue fake. Or is queue fake, do you run queue fake before running the event listener? Hey, Sherwin. Good to see you, man. So let's try this. So what was the name of the thing that we're asserting is dispatched? Queue job batch finished. Queue fake fakes queue driver event fake fakes events like model stuff. Okay. Okay, so let's try it. What on earth? Assert not dispatched exists indeed. Great. All right, queue job batch finished event was not dispatched. So this one right here did not dispatch it. So let's see what happens. We build 2 queue jobs with the batch of 1. We mark them both as completed. Oh, we didn't mark them as complete. Oh no, we mark them as completed, where batch 1 is completed. We don't even need these recipients anymore. We mark the queue jobs where batches 1 as completed. And then we dispatch, and then we check. Oh, we have to dispatch the monitoring job. Oh my God. My brain is shot, y'all. It's shot. App job should queue not found on check for compute completed. I must have accidentally deleted it. Look at that. Oh my goodness. It worked. I did not think I was going to waste this much time on just fighting these stupid things. I am so sorry, everybody. That did not work out the way I wanted. Okay, so it does an event before a batch is completed. So assert not dispatched, and then change the class. And we might not even need that closure at all, because I don't really particularly care about the differentiating the event. I just want to check that it got dispatched in general. All right, why don't we just use WordPress? Good point. That one character can get you. Easy. Didn't you make mark completed method instead of updating correctly? Yeah, but mark completed only runs on an individual, whereas this is updating all of them at the same time. Also, we don't need these queue job things anymore, so we can do this instead. Much simpler. That's good enough for now. Oh, I guess I didn't copy the thing I thought I copied. Yeah, no kidding, John. Okay, so how are we doing here? It doesn't emit event. Wait a minute. Didn't we just run that on its own? It didn't have that problem? Is this somehow... Are the queue jobs somehow running in here that were dispatched here? I figured that wasn't possible. Tell me this is not one of those things where I just change the order of my tests and everything starts working. Good. I can tell if a batch is complete. So it's a different one that's failing. I think there's something going on with delayed jobs here. Wow. That is wild. Look, it worked this time. I didn't change anything. Oh my God. And now it's breaking. Oh, you know what could be happening? You know what's possible. I know what it is. I know what it is, everybody. QJob factory is complete as a Boolean. I'm assuming that they all start as not complete, but actually, that's differentiating it. Okay, phew. That wasn't the problem. It was just about the Boolean from the factory. Thank God. That scared me. Nope. I pasted that wrong, which means there's an errant. No? Okay. I don't know what happened there. Okay. Factory Booleans. Okay, so we're out of time, but I feel like there was at least one thing that we haven't actually tested yet. What have we not actually tested yet? building the queue job data, which now that I look at it, it's simple enough. It doesn't really need to be. Oh no, it does, because this next available number has to be picked outside of the closure. All right, and we are pushing the queue job in on this. So this gets pushed up. Every time this runs, it marks its own queue job as complete. And then at the same time, we're pushing up. Oh, we're not actually pushing up the monitoring job here, are we? Push all recipients to HelloTrack needs to kick off a monitoring job. So check for completed queue job batch. Dispatch, and what does it take? A batch ID, not a queue job. All right, so this would be queue job data batch. That might be it. I do feel like there's probably something else we need to test here. I don't know what it is though. So we push up all of our queue jobs. They create a tracking record. They push up the thing. When the thing runs, it completes its own tracking record. Meanwhile, we push up a monitoring job. Thank you, Mohammed, for the idea of doing it that way, which checks if the batch is complete. If it does, it dispatches the queue job batch finished event. Otherwise, it releases. Oh, you know what we haven't checked? Our event service provider. We haven't actually tested this thing right here. Does new job automatically get the correct batch ID? What if I send in a group of jobs? They have the same batch. They do, because the push all recipients to HelloTracks, we grab the next available batch number once, and then all of these get created with that same batch number. So, but back to the event service provider. We've got a dump and die. So obviously we have not tested this because we were doing event fake. So now we need to do one. Oh my goodness. That triggers this. All right, well, it's 12:08, I gotta go. So what I'm gonna finish after this is this right here. So what I'm gonna do basically here is dispatch the email. So in the end, this is gonna dispatch email using Tammy's notification code. So hopefully that's relatively simple. So I think we just did it. I think we built a thing where, and so the other cool thing that we can do is basically build a user interface where they see like queue jobs that are in progress, and they can hit refresh a bunch of times and see them all kind of knock out, and then eventually maybe even use WebSockets to update it. But that's it for today. Thank you all for hanging out, especially amid all the COVID crazy. It's been such a pleasure, especially because you all actually helped me get this done and gave me some sanity while I was in the middle of everything crazy. Check out atlfamilymeal.org and consider buying some swag from them or something like that, or donating. This is all for the sake of feeding hospitality and restaurant workers in Atlanta. So thanks for hanging out, everybody. Stay safe. See you soon.